what are 5 of your worst takes? I maybe have 5 of them just now, like just before. Those are all 5 of my worst takes.
All right. Well, I guess you don't need to share
I
first.
don't know. I don't need to.
All right. Well, I've got five that honestly I feel like they're all good takes because
Okay.
they're my
So
takes.
you're not rolling back on them. These aren't like takes where you're like that was a mistake. These are like
So
what
you'll see.
okay.
Some of the
I'm
ones
here.
I prepared, like I have come around since.
Okay. I get it.
So at number five, recently, actually,
Mhm.
in a recent video I did on TikTok, I said that Future has a better discography than Pusha T, Tupac, and Drake. And I actually stand by this take still, but I know some people think it's a bad take. But I
Interesting.
stand by it. So
Okay.
I'm going to include it there. I would love to know what you think about that. Are you a Future fan?
I'm not a huge Future fan. I like him for sure.
Okay.
Um, that is like it's also like interesting. He has, I guess maybe Drake aside. Who you said Pusha T, Drake, and who was the other one?
Tupac.
Tupac. Future's like discography is massive. To start
And
with, he's
that's
got like
yeah, so that separates him from an artist like Tupac, where
yeah,
unfortunately Tupac just wasn't able to have, as large of a discography
yeah.
as we would all
Well, and
like.
even
But
Pusha, like how many albums does Pusha have? He would have under
he has
10,
a
wouldn't he?
few.
Would he have under
If we're
10?
include I think more if you include his albums as clips.
Okay.
But maybe not. It's probably around 10,
Okay.
honestly.
Yeah.
But Drake has a large
Yeah,
discography,
he
and I
does.
think Futures is more consistent.
I would agree with
I
that.
said that.
I agree with that take. I would agree like Tupac's a hard one because like he's got so little and like probably a lot of people would argue like his potential wasn't he wasn't even at his peak potentially. Like that's what happens when you lose an artist, you know, early
Yeah,
is
Tupac
that
would have had a better discography. But
yeah. But I would probably agree with Tupac and with Drake, even though the Tupac one sounds like sacrilege just coming out of your
it
mouth, just
does.
because you're
It's
like.
kind of gimmicky, low key.
But the Pusha T is a tough one for me. He's got some great albums, and I don't know like. Do you think that Pusha T has some pretty bad misses in his like
No,
yeah.
no, I
You're
don't think
more
he
so just
has.
thinking
I don't think he has any misses. Like Pusha T
I
has
wouldn't
one of the most
say.
consistent discographies in hip hop.
Yeah.
I just think Future also does.
He does, yeah.
I don't know. Like the truth is, between the two of them, Daytona probably is the best album between both of their
Mm.
discographies, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
But then like the next three probably go to Future.
Future. Yeah. 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 I could get there for
That's
it.
kind of my thought process there.
You know
I'm a
what?
big Future fan. I got my
Oh,
Metro and Future shirt.
yes.
One of the
I
best
love it.
concerts I went to last year.
Nice. I love it. I could probably get there with you on that. I do like Future, but I really like Pusha T. I could I could throw out all of Drake's discography. I could care less about listening to I'm
Okay, now people are going to come after you.
I'm not a Drake hater, but like I just find his stuff too mainstream.
Your fellow Canadian. Wow, what a
I know.
patriot.
Yeah, well, hey, what can you do? All right,
All right,
what's number 2 or 4? I don't know if you're numbering them or if they're just
number four. Yeah, I guess they're numbered. I don't know. They have numbers next to them, so we
Okay,
can say it.
let's do it.
Four. Uh, my original take was that Benny the Butcher is the best member of Griselda,
Hmm,
but I made that like that's what I believed early in their discography.
sure.
Since then, I think it's fairly obvious that West Side Gun is the more consistent artist and
Yeah.
just
Yeah, yeah.
has more of an ear for beats and
Mm,
I don't know. I think it's pretty obvious that he is the best member of Griselda.
mm.
So I've
You've walked back a little bit.
kind of walked back a little bit on
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but I think it's pretty common knowledge now, I would assume.
Yeah, yeah. And like you could potentially double down if you're like at the time I said this, it is true.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe it's not. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's just what I said. So at number three, this one people might be mad at
Okay.
because they were very mad when I said this originally.
Mm.
Is that I don't think that Lady Gaga is as special of a vocalist as everybody else does. I think that I mean she's obviously talented, but we're
Mhm.
talking like an all-timer. People think she's like an all-time vocalist, and I just don't see her on the same level as like a Freddie Mercury, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin. Like
Mm,
to me, she's not in that tier, but
mm.
for many people, she is. I don't know what you think about that.
I would not have even. I didn't know that this was a thing. I wouldn't
It's a
even.
thing, bro.
I wouldn't even put her in a top 50 of
People
vocalists.
people put her in the top 10.
What? No, no.
I
She's
promise you, they
she's
do.
like a decent vocalist, but like that's not her thing. That's not, in my opinion, that's not what. It's more the songwriting. It's more the like pushing the boundaries of pop
Yeah,
and it.
to me too, and the persona, like she
Yeah, the
suggested.
persona. I would never have really thought that it's like vocal. I wouldn't even say she's like in the top 50 of vocalists that are still like that are still alive and in their prime right now. Like I wouldn't.
I'm glad you're on my team. So
I
if
don't
people
know.
are in my comments because of
Yeah,
this,
you can have this
you have
clip. You can have this
you
clip.
have to come to my defense, bro.
I just don't see that. I maybe
You're in the
saying
top 10.
in the top 50 of like right now current is a little extreme, but like I don't know. There's some really amazing vocalists like and newer like take any female vocalist in R&B and male vocalist in R&B or soul genre and most of them are going to be better than Lady Gaga. Like
There's a lot of really good vocalists out right now in the R&B genre.
yeah, like that's what you have to be in R&B though. Like that's the thing.
Right.
You can't be a good R&B. Like the only one that's kind of like that is Drake. You know what I mean? Like he's like high in R&B and it's like he's not he's just auto-tunes everything. He's not a great vocalist, but like you think of like the new Ray, like phenomenal vocalist, new R&B artist. Like there's so many. Like you can literally list probably 10 to 20 R&B artists, all female. Not even getting into male R&B, like in talking about Bruno Mars or something. Like you can literally list all of these people, and they're much better, in my
I
opinion.
promise
Lady
you,
Gaga.
there are lots of people that think she is a better vocalist than
That's
Bruno
crazy.
Mars.
This is
Like there are
this is
people
blowing
that
my mind.
they will say that she like outsang Bruno Mars on Die with a Smile.
No, never.
That
Absolutely never.
I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that is what people
No, I
will
want to
say,
fight
and
with you. I want to fight with you.
they will put Lady Gaga, these little monsters, will put her in the top 10, top 20 all
Wow.
time vocalists. And
Man,
so I'm so
wow.
glad that you agree with my take that
Uh,
she's not in there.
how could you even compare her to Whitney Houston, to Mariah Carey, to
I don't know.
Michael Bublé, to even Bruno Mars? How could you ever compare? Like, yeah, maybe she, I don't, but it's like when you're doing these parts, like, is she a good, like, is she somebody that could just off the cuff, like, sing something really well, or is she designing these parts for herself,
She
for her voice? She knows what she, like, you know what I mean? Like that, there's
I
so
think she
much
is a good
more.
vocalist.
She
Like
is a good
she can
vocalist. I know that.
sing like you know, it's not just pop. Like she
Yeah.
can sing R&B. She can even sing jazz.
Yeah. She's a good,
Like it's impressive what she does. But we're talking all time.
yeah. No, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even. I would not be in that camp, even close to that camp. Absolutely not.
All right. Thanks for backing me up.
Hey,
That's why
I'm
I
here
love
for you.
coming on your podcast. I just come here for you to just to agree with me.
Hey, I wish that it was reciprocated. You attacked me at the last one, so
I was just
I'm just
sharing some
playing with
thoughts.
you.
Okay. At number 2,
Mhm.
when Billie Eilish released Happier Than Ever,
Okay.
I was disappointed and thought that it was a step backwards. But I have since come around to it
Mm.
a little bit more. Like,
Okay.
I, I think that there are some great songs on there, but
Mhm.
it just didn't feel as dynamic as her previous releases.
Yeah.
And I do kind of stand by that. But I also think that it probably is her best album vocally. If we're talking about vocalists, by the way,
Yeah. Billie
Billie
Eilish.
Eilish,
Mhm. Yeah.
really good.
Absolutely.
Um, I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I still kind of stand by it a little bit.
I could see. I could see you getting to that point. Um. Shoot. What's the album before that called? It's not Bury a Friend, is it? What is it called?
No, it's when we.
Yeah, the long title.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is like that one's just such a wild album. So
It's like
dark.
lightning in a bottle, right?
Yeah,
Don't you think? Like
it's
she
so
got something there that was
yeah.
special for the
It
time.
it was just an insane album and like just still blows my mind. I listen to that album so much. And you talk about how you maybe listen to were you saying folklore? You listen to it once a month? I
Yeah.
probably listen to that album, which I don't even know the name of it. So obviously, but I probably
No
listen to
need
that
to.
album once a month as well. And
Is
and
that your favorite Billy project? Would you say?
yeah. Um that's so tough because I love Happier Than Ever. Um, I think that's Phineas's best work. I think production,
Yeah,
he
I'd agree with that.
he just totally knocked it out of the park. Like there's some stuff in there that's just so crazy. A lot of this like 50s, 40s, 50s female vocal sounds that he like kind of brought into it. And how they did kind of those like split songs where it was like this like long
Like
whatever.
Goldwing,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
Oh, that song's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And the thing that I love about like Phineas and his production is like he just takes random sounds that he's heard and he's like, that's a cool sound. He like records it on his phone, then he puts it in a track.
Yeah.
I like in Happier Than Ever, like the famous one is like they were in Australia and the walk signal, like the sound it makes is like a really weird, it's like and it's in I forget which song, but it's in one of the Happier Than Ever songs, and it's like this is how is this guy so crazy? So I would have a hard time. I think in terms of how much I like it, I would say um that her Where Do We Go When We Fall Asleep or whatever is my favorite. But in terms of best, I feel like I could go either way. Depends on the day. I could be convinced that Happier Than Ever is it. I could be convinced that um that other one is. Yeah. It's just it's really interesting. Um yeah, but I think I got drug into the stories around the production of Happier Than Ever more.
Yeah, I didn't know all of that. I
There
think
was
that
a lot of
would make me
stuff
enjoy it more.
like the producer community when that came out. It was like a bomb went off. People were like, "This is the best produced album ever." Like people were losing their minds in like kind of that production side of the music industry. And so I remember like that's how I started listening to that album. Like I obviously knew it came out, but I was just kind of like I wasn't really super into Billie at that time. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, like I guess I like her stuff. But then I heard all this buzz around that album. I listened to it. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I started falling in love with her and Phineas and their stuff. But anyway, I wouldn't. I could go either way with it. I think I could understand what you're saying because I think it's a step back in the sense that like I think people really loved sonically what she did before, and
Yeah.
it was a big pivot for her.
I was really early with Billy. Like
Yeah.
I was listening to, just the stuff that she was putting on the internet, like
Hmm.
and sound
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, like maybe that is part of it. I do think it's time for a re-listen for me though, for Happier Than Ever. Probably, I probably haven't listened to it since the year it came out, if I'm being
Mm.
honest. So
It's got some really great tracks, and just yeah, production is just through the
I do
roof in my
agree.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, the highs are really high. Like
Yeah.
Goldwing, I love. I mentioned
Yeah.
NDA, Happier Than Ever. The title track is
Hmm.
great.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's time for me to do a re-listen.
Yeah. You do. You need to.
Um, number one, going back, I love to bring things full circle.
All right, let's do it.
When I first listened to Playboi Carti, I didn't like him at all.
Hmm.
Actually, it actually wasn't until
How
Whole Lotta Red dropped
how dare you?
until I figured out like I understood what he was doing.
Mm.
So,
Hmm.
and now I love like his self-titled album and
Yeah. Yeah.
his earlier work. But I didn't get it at first,
Yeah.
and then he did something out of the box, experimental. It
Mm.
piqued my interest, and then I kind of it all clicked after
Yeah.
that. So that I've totally walked it back. Obviously, I'm a Carti fan now,
Yeah.
but I thought
Okay.
it was worth mentioning, and
Hey,
I'm glad I was able to bring this podcast full circle.
I love it. I love it. You know, I was there with you. I didn't understand Cardi. And I think you could probably say that like about a lot of people that I've been like, oh, I don't really like them that much. Like, I could maybe in 5 years say that about Yeet. Like, I didn't understand him at
Yeah,
the time. Like, I don't know. I just do not like Homecoming. I think of his like really like top stream songs, I think it's his worst one. That's like my bad take. Everybody hates me for that. So I still like I obviously still stick to it. I just don't like that song. I just in my opinion, I just don't feel like that feature landed well, and maybe it's that it didn't age well either. I just didn't feel like Chris Martin and Kanye meshed on that. But that's my take, and people hate it. So especially the people that love Kanye a lot and love
yeah.
Graduation a lot.
I don't hate it. I do love Graduation a lot, but I agree that it is not like his strongest song. But in the context of what he was doing on Graduation, like you have to think about it. Like this is one of the biggest hip hop artists in the world,
Mhm.
bringing in the lead singer for Coldplay
It's true. It was
on a song,
it was a
which like
crazy
that
thing.
it
Yeah.
was pretty new. Like
Yeah.
to do something like that, like you wouldn't get U2 on a Kendrick Lamar album if it wasn't for
It's
Chris
true.
Martin, probably
I do agree with
Homecoming.
that.
Which
Yeah.
it's so like I get it. Like it's not. It's probably my one of my least favorite songs on Graduation, but
Oh, okay. Hey, look,
I'm with you.
you're coming to
I don't
my
love it as
side here.
I'm
This is
coming to your defense,
that's
but I'm
great.
also defending like it was somewhat innovative, but
Mm.
it's not as good as everybody makes it out to be.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of like like 808s is so innovative, but in the grand scheme of his best albums, like, is it really that great? Like, it did a lot. It changed a lot of things, but like, I don't know. A lot of people like you didn't have it on your top 5 list, so
It pained me to not have it on my top five. I probably would have put it at 6 if I'm
six.
being
Okay,
honest.
okay.
Probably.
That's totally fine. Um, Obviously my Yeet take is a worse take. I put out a video when his 2093 or whatever that album was, that I just didn't understand why everybody was so like, this is so genre bending and breaking, and it's like everybody was really really losing their mind on that, and to me it didn't sound really anything special or new or different. It really just sounded to me like he was just rapping over like the score to Tenet. Like it didn't sound, you know what I mean? Like it didn't sound.
Okay. The score to Tenet is amazing.
I know it
That
is, but people were making it seem like he was coming up with these sounds that were
yeah.
like totally new and totally fresh, and I'm like, no, this isn't. Like Quadeca is doing this. Like, what are you talking about? It didn't.
Quadeca is who Yeet fans, you know what I'm trying to say. Quadeca is who Yeet fans think Yeet is.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Let me re-say that because it came out weird. Quadeca is who Yeet fans think Yeet is.
Yeah, I would agree with
That
that.
makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What I'm
To
saying?
me,
Yeah, okay.
to me, I
It
don't
feels
know.
weird. Like I said it 3 times. I don't even know why. Like it just did not feel right coming out of my lips.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here for it. Um, the other take would be like how highly I value Reputation in Taylor Swift's discography. I think, like, I just think most people are like, that's so dumb. This is such a bad album of hers. Like, a lot of people would put Reputation as one of her worst albums, and I'm like, come
That is
on.
crazy to me.
I know. So I think and these all of these takes, I'm like doubling down now even more.
Yeah.
um,
Reputation is a really good album.
yeah,
So
I think it's really good.
I will defend you forever for
Hey,
that take.
I love that. That's 3. Um, this is the worst one, but because my 4th is eluding me, I didn't write these down, but I had them in my head. I thought I would remember them all. But
Yeah, that's okay.
this is the worst one, and I walked this back big time. And this was that kind of like throwaway episode that I put out. But I said that of Chappell Roan's like tracks on the Midwest Princess album, Coffee was the worst song. And that was so like such a bad take. So bad. It's hard to rank like a worst song on an album that's really good anyway.
Yeah,
There really weren't any skips I didn't find on that album. Anyway, Coffee absolutely was not. So I walked that back. I was just so enamored, I think, at the time of with her like high energy pop hits. Like I
yeah,
just found that she did such a good job on those that I couldn't really look at her ballads. But then as I listened to that album more, I was like, man, she's actually just as good at writing pop ballads as well. And so I started to
she's
like,
amazing.
she is amazing. And I started to really enjoy Coffee. And then, I've actually gone like a full 180 where I'm like, I think Coffee is her best song.
Wow.
So it's been that drastic. But I've listened to that album a lot, probably more than most newer albums. I've listened to that so much. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible album. Do you like her new track, The Giver?
yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Like, obviously, it's a total genre change for her. Like,
Yeah,
she's stepping into country, so I think it's going to take some adjusting and some like more time with the track. I wasn't blown away by it. I wasn't like, whoa, this was insane. But I also wasn't like, I don't like this. I was kind of like, it was like one of those songs where I'm like, I know I need to listen to this probably 10 more times before I can really decide
yeah.
exactly where I am with it. But I on initial listen, I did like it. I just was kind of like, I don't know. I just want more of what Chappell was doing before. I'm not
I think
ready
she's
for her
going
to
to.
go into country.
I'm pretty sure this is like a one-off. I think I heard that in an interview with
I thought she was prepping
Apple Music
for.
or
I
someone.
thought she was prepping for a country album.
Not based off of what I heard, but
Okay,
maybe.
maybe I
I
heard
mean,
different.
I would be happy. Like, I love The Giver. I'm a
Hmm.
big Shania Twain fan, and
Yeah.
so to me, I mean, this is just straight out of Shania's book. And
Hmm.
so for me, I thought it was fun. I'd be happy with an album, but that'd be crazy because we had the Beyonce album.
Hmm.
We already have the Lana Del Rey album announced, country album. And
She's
so
scrapped
if,
that.
oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
which is
Because then
sad.
we would have had three of the biggest pop artists out right now doing country albums. So
Yeah. Well,
why did she
Post
scrap
Malone.
it? Did you hear? Oh, and Post Malone. You're
Yeah.
right.
Um, I don't remember. I didn't dig into it very much. I just actually it was Aiden that was on here said that she wasn't doing it anymore.
Oh, I'll have to look into that because that's
Yeah.
gonna probably put me in spiral down into depression for a couple days. So
I know, I
that's
know. So,
I'm looking
there's
forward to
one
that.
for there's one for you right there. There's
I
something.
think Lana would make a really good country album.
Yeah, she would. Like, I guess to me, it depends on what type of country she rolls into. Um,
Yeah,
if she's like going
for
like
sure.
into like intense twangy like knee slapping country, I don't know how much I would love that. But if she's taking her tasteful spin onto country, I think I would really enjoy it.
That's what I
I
would
think it'd be
assume.
killer. Yeah,
When you picture a Lana album, you picture it being like an Americana
yeah.
country album, like
But that's
very kind
yeah,
of old school country
yeah.
with just like her really incredible vocals.
It's
I
true. Yeah.
I was excited for that.
Yeah, it would be really cool. But and it's funny because like you've got Beyonce that put out her country album and it's like, is that really a country album or is it just like country themed? So like
Yeah,
that's one side and then you have Post Malone who just like went like he just dove head first. He's like, I'm just gonna be a guy with the twang and talk about trucks and like I'm gonna act like I've never put anything else out before. I'm just
I
country.
know.
Like it's like other than his voice, there's no Post Malone onto his country album. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
you've got these two extremes of this kind of deviation from what they've typically done. With Lana, it would be cool if she could do something in the middle there. But yeah,
yeah.
I heard that it was scrapped. But I just also said that I thought Chappell Roan was doing a full country album. So am I really that reliable of a source? I don't know. Who's to know?
I don't even know if what I'm saying is that reliable either. If I'm
What what
like that's
even
just
is truth, really?
for some reason that's in my head. I feel like I watched her in an interview with Apple Music and she said this like she's still focusing on making a pop album.
Mm, yeah. Okay. Hey, I'm 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 here for it. Um, yeah, and I can't remember what I had as my fifth. I have so many like takes that I'm like people would say are bad. So Like I did this whole series of like the 5 best and the 5 worst tracks. Sometimes I would do like an entire discography. Sometimes I would do an album. So like pick any one of those. I'm sure there's a bad take in it.
Yeah, bad. Those things are like so subjective.
They are, yeah. Yeah, my Frank Ocean got a lot of hate. My 5 worst Frank Ocean, my 5 worst Zach Bryan, both of those got a lot of hate. My 5 worst Lana got a lot of hate. Any like artist that had a pretty good like following and fan base, almost all of those people are like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but
Well, the Frank Ocean one, you're doomed from the start because his discography is
I know.
small
I know."
and so high quality. Like
Yeah.
you're picking
And I
something.
I decided when I did this series that I wasn't gonna put any like interludes in. So like then it's like there goes all of the songs I could pick from Frank Ocean because like all of his
Literally, every
interludes.
other song's amazing.
Yeah, so it's a tough